getting more of your own recruits in to run your schemes more effectively?
I think I'm just a slow teacher. Is what I'd say. I've always said it. You guys have heard me say it a couple times. It takes 1,000 days. It takes 1,000 days to rise a program. Well, this program's rising from the dead. Whereas at Montana State, they were 2 years removed from being 7-4. At Eastern Washington, we had won the Big Sky title 2 years before I became the head coach. And Idaho State is not. The similarities between Idaho State, Montana State, and Eastern Washington are too far away to be able to really compare them. Rising a dead program, like we're doing, in today's world of APR, precludes you from turning your roster over. So you have to play with the players that are on site. And for the most part, the guys that are now in this program that were here when I got here are one of us. Whereas I could not say that in years past. And that has been probably the biggest change in the program, is that I feel like the guys we're putting on the field are us, not we trying to survive and blame somebody else for the woebegone part of this program.
Mike Kramer day one came in and was all excited to throw the ball. Is Mike Kramer day one embarrassed now that Mike Kramer year 3 is going to run the ball?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I love to throw. I love to. I'm an offensive lineman, and I played in one of the greatest rushing offense in the history of the University of Idaho 30 years ago. 40 years ago. But to me, the skill level on our team is so good that every time we throw the ball, I feel like we can complete every single pass. Every single throw, every single pass pattern is open for a microsecond. And if our quarterback can think well enough to get the ball there, he throws it ultimately a catchable ball. Both Kevin Yost and Justin Arias are exactly the same. And we run the ball a little bit, I grind my teeth, but that's okay. It's still part of the offense, and it's part of the balance, not balance, but part of the variation of your attack that you want to have to be able to go hyper. And we're going to continue to go hyper fast on offense, faster. Arias is the guy to be able to do that. He's got a little mobility. He can run himself. We have a plethora. There you go. There's a big word for it.
Good work for you.
Plethora of running backs that we did not have before. We have a multitude of tight ends now in our program that can do some things. So we have a lot more variables that we can rely on. But still, we're going to be a passing team.
Cool.
Go ahead.
I'd say last year, you talked about not talking about last year, but will you use the defense as a motivation for these guys?
No, I don't think so, because neither Spencer Toon nor Roger Cooper were on defense. Neither was Steve Fafita or Stanley Franks. So to them, last year is, I don't think they've even watched a frame of film from last year, which was smart.
Coach, you're talking about 1,000 days. You're approximately 750-ish. The next 250 days, what needs to happen besides just get older and get more experience, maybe systematically, schematically?
The one thing I would go back and say, at Eastern Washington and at Montana State, we were great in November. And that's why it's still 1,000 days. We have got, and I think all of you would agree that have watched this program over the last 2 years, by the time we got to the 1st of November, we were sad. There's no other way to say it. Pathetic rhymes with sad. We were not good. We were not getting better. And so, however we play this Saturday will be a very small portion of how I want us to finish in November. And that's real important to me. I want to finish stronger than you start. Don't care about the early season. Make sure that down in October you're able to hold the fort at home, and in November you're able to go wherever you need to go. And because of your size and strength, determination, and ferocity, you're able to own November.
A successful season is...
A successful season, holy moly. In this program, where we're at right now, well, continued graduation rate, continued APR success, confidence in our locker room that we can win the last game of the season. That would be a successful season.
Specifically this Saturday, what do you want to see to, as you mentioned, validate what you guys have done this offseason, spring ball, fall ball? What do you want to see to validate that?
I want to see us play fast on all three phases. I want to see us play fast, aggressive, with proper footwork, and because footwork to me tells me that we have confidence in the kicking game first. On offense second. I know I can expect that on our offense because our offense is already over the hump in my. But defensively, can we rise up and get stops? Can we get off the field and avoid the big play? Can we cap every play? Can we stay over the top of every play? Can we play from inside out? Can we play from outside in? Can we play on second and short and third and long? And can we make adjustments and see those adjustments demonstrated on the field? A lot is to be seen yet from our defense. Our defensive staff is up against the wall because we're our third year in, and we're not in a third year in terms of production on our defense yet. So it's the first game for the defense. Overcome our jitters and make good tackles and stay on top of the ball and just defend ourselves.
How does that carry into the following game? No matter what happens with your opponent, you're concentrating on you yourself. How does that carry into the next week and then the next week?
Well, there's a lot of coaching things you'd say about the second game being the more important than the first game, or that you learn the most from the first game to the second game. But to me, it's all just a series of dominoes. Or building blocks. You build one, it stands up. You put another one on top. It's solid. You keep going, you keep moving up. You're better in November than you are in September. So, how we play on Saturday, well, let's don't repeat those mistakes the next Saturday, and let's see if we can do that. Because that obviously is something we've been able to sustain in our program on the defensive side of the ball. So we make a mistake on one Saturday, make the same mistake plus another one the following Saturday, and pretty soon we're falling completely down and away from the point. So I'm excited that I think we defensively have a sensibility about who we are and what we're capable of. And simply stated, we came out of the weight room knowing we're a lot more capable of playing better defense.
So a lot of people always talk about offenses being able to sustain drives. Maybe if you look at game to game, how do you sustain momentum game to game?
But that would be, Jeff, that would be exactly the same situation we would want from our offense. And we only scored 25 touchdowns last season. In one of the most wide open offenses in the country. We got to score more touchdowns, period. And how can we do that? By playing better from the 40 in, which we call the can-do zone. That we can do, we're not going to kick field goals, because kicking field goals is not winning games. It's not. We prove it. So we got to score touchdowns offensively going in. That's the next great hurdle for the offense. And defensively, the hurdle is, okay, we gave up a long play, we capped the play, now let's get a stop and hold them to a field goal. So to me, the drama is not how we play up to the 50, but from the 50 in. And that'll be the story of this whole season. And that's what the words "can do" mean to us, is how we play from the red zone, from the 50 in.